الافتراضي بحجم الأوبر والتاكسي والخدمات دي كمان، في خدمات مواصلات عالية الجودة وعالية الكثافة سيداتي أنساتي سادتي، معانا الراجل الكبير، معانا Mr. Charles Cook here with us, the very well known Mr. Charles Cook. معانا أشهر محامي الهجرة في أمريكا على الإطلاق، اللي كل الناس كل سنة بينتظروا إنهم يشوفوه. Mr. Charles Cook, this is the first time for you on my platform here, or my screen. So thank you very much for answering to us people today. First, we gonna need to tell them a little brief about yourself, though everybody knows you. But I still got to translate to the new ones. As you know, 2022 is kind of new. They're not with us since 2020 yet. الأخ أهلا بكم سادتي وأحبتي في الوطن العربي الكبير من المحيط إلى الخليج. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نبدأ معكم. إليكم المحامي تشارلز كوك، وهو غني عن التعريف، أكبر محامي الهجرة للولايات المتحدة الامريكية على الإطلاق، وسيتحدث لكم ويقدم لكم نفسه. Mike is all yours, sir.
Well, first, assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.
Thank you for having me on your show. I know you just kind of did one with a different lawyer, and I wanted to make sure I got on here. I do apologize to you for not getting back to you sooner, but this week has been crazy. Many people don't know me, but I'm the principal lawyer in the last two different DV cases in which President Donald Trump and then President Joe Biden did not follow the law and stop tens of thousands of people from getting their DV visas issued. And unfortunately, it appears Joe Biden is continuing to do the same thing. So another lawsuit is in order.
السيد تشارلز كوك يكلم حضراتكم. سلام عليكم بتحياتكم، تحية المسلمين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وحييناه تحية أخرى. هو يعتذر أنه لم يتمكن من الوصول إلينا قبل ذلك، وهو عارف أن كان معنا محامي آخر قبل ذلك. السيد تشارلز كوك يقول لسيادتكم هو كان على مر السنوات السابقة الاثنين، على مر السنتين السابقتين على المحك في أكثر من مناسبة، ويرى أن السيد جو بايدن خالف القانون كما خالفه سالفه Donald Trump. So first of all, we might need to introduce what kind of lawsuit we're going to have. Is that going to be a mandamus? Is that going to be a class action? Mike is all yours again.
Great questions. This will not be a class action. We will represent the people that hire us to represent them and to do everything possible to get them visas, just like we did last year when we sued on behalf of approximately 1,000 DV 2021 winners. And we were able to secure visas for about a third of them so far, but we're still fighting that case. And we hope to be able to get everybody visas that represented in DV 2021. In the DV 2020 lawsuit, all of our plaintiffs actually got their DVs. So we were very excited about that. But the lawsuit itself is based upon the fact that the Department of State is breaking the law by not issuing diversity visas at the same ratio they are issuing visas to other groups like spouses of U.S. citizens.
السيد Charles, I was typing the number for the law office, so I can put it on here. السيد تشارلز كوك يقول لحضراتكم هذا العام لن يكون الشغل ولن يكون الطلب على class action، بل ستكون للمدعين فقط، والمرافعة ستكون للمدعين فقط، وهذا سيختلف عن أي قضية أخرى. Should we go ahead and say what we based our litigation on, or should we tell the fees first? Or
no, let's stop. I mean, as I talk, what we're going to be doing is this. The Department of State was lost the DV case last year, principally because they were prioritizing diversity visas at the bottom. And the federal court judge said that's illegal. You can't prioritize visas. And so we decided to wait for the first quarter of the fiscal year to pass to determine whether the Department of State was going to continue to do that, because they said they weren't. But the facts speak louder than their actions. And the facts are this. They didn't issue any visas, approximately, I think, 300, 400, when they should have issued about 14,000. So the problem at this point is that they are far behind. They are missing 14,000 visas. We believe we have an exceptionally strong case against the Department of State to, at a very minimum, recover all those visas. Because, interestingly enough, one of the factors that the judge used in a previous cases was comparing diversity visas to marriage visas. And they were both down. So he made up a little bit. This year, the marriage visas are beyond and higher than they've ever been, where they're having issue any DV leaders. So we have a very strong case, we believe, on the going after the department on prioritization. I'll stop there on the next page. The next thing.
Okay. السيد تشارلز كوك يقول لسيادتكم هذه المرة أخطأت الحكومة خطأ جسيما بأنها كانت قد أصدرت البريوريتايزيشن ونظام الطبقات التي كانت تعمل به. أعلنت الحكومة أنها ألغت هذا النظام، ولكنها في الحقيقة لم تخبر السفارات بذلك. هذا النظام نظام خاطئ وجائر، وأبطله القاضي أميت مهتا زي ما شفنا في 21. المشكلة كمان أن القاضي أميت مهتا كان يقيس اللاتري فيزا، الدايفرستي فيزا، كان بيقيسها على الفاميلي فيزا، كان بيقيسها على تأشيرات لم الشمل، وهذا خطأ آخر سيتم مراعاته وسيتم لفت نظر القاضي لذلك في هذه القضية التي لن تكون class action وستكون فقط للمدعين بها. Yes, sir.
So basically, what they're doing is illegal. Second is they just said in a different case that they're they're front-loading all the DV2022 visas. So to do them in the first half of the year, so they can do the DV2020 and 2021 visas in the second half of the year. The problem is, if they haven't done any DV 2022 visas, we got a big problem. So by filing now, and then the last thing was, in one of the prior lawsuits, the judge said, why didn't you file earlier? So rather than waiting until July, what we're going to do is go after the missing 14,000 visas they should have issued and ensure that every visa is issued.
السيد تشارلز كوك يتكلم في نفس الصدد، وبيقول لحضراتكم الحكومة أيضا في قضية أخرى قالت سترجئ 2020 وجوميز سترجئها لحين أن تصدر تأشيرات وتسرع تأشيرات في 2022. فهنخليها في النصف الثاني بشهر 4 علشان نكون فاضيين النص الأول نرفع تأشيرات ونخلص تأشيرات 2022. وهذا طبعا لم يحدث. كل اللي خدناه 300 visas so far، أقل من 300 visas. فلذلك بعد نظام البريتايزيشن سنطالب الحكومة بال14,000 تأشيرة اللي قلنا عليهم، وسنطالبهم بمواعيد للجميع. So that's how we built the case. Okay, now we understand this. Is there anything about the regarding the case you want to say? I mean, regarding the litigation. Yeah.
So I've been an immigration lawyer for 32 years. That's why I've got gray hair, like you, Sahir.
Yeah.
And it's this team that we've assembled.
Simon does too. Simon is a citizen now. Woohoo!
And we've assembled a team, 3 different law firms that work together. We're not just a single law firm. We have dozens of lawyers that working on this particular case this year. And what we've decided to do is have an initial enrollment period that goes through next Friday, because we do want to get this filed in early February. We were the first ones to announce it. We've been talking about it for months. I know others have kind of jumped ahead, but for us, we're really focused on doing it right. So initial enrollment period through next Friday, and that's $1,500. Then 1 more week of enrollment beyond that while we prepare the case, but that enrollment will be $2,000. So we want everybody to get in now to get the lesser amount. And I think I emailed you a link that people can go to the webpage. They can see what the case is about. There is a list, a thing called an FAQ, frequently asked questions on there. We answer all your questions that are pretty normal in these cases. But our goal is to get this filed the first week of February, by February, I think it's 4th. And not to really add any plaintiffs after that. We don't have a limit on plaintiffs. We'll take as many as want to hire us. One thing we do know is this, that people from Africa have been the biggest victims of the DV mess over the last 3 years. Europe has not been that badly victimized. Asia has not been that badly victimized. Africa has been badly victimized as a result of the consular closures and how the Department of State has run this program. That's not by accident.
Okay. سيداتي وسادتي، المحامي تشارلز كوك يقول أنه يريد أن يبدأ early February، في بداية شهر فبراير لازم يكون أتم كل شيء. هو صاحب أول قضية هذا العام. ربما البعض دخل على الخط، ولكنه صاحب أول قضية هذا العام، خطط لها وأعد لها اللينك. Here's the link زي ما تشارلز كوك تمام بيقول. This is the link. اللينك مع حضراتكم. الانرولمنت الأول، الانضمام الأول للقضية سيكون $1,500. Is it 1,500 or 1,580?
It's 1,500. 1500.
1,500 هنا في أمريكا بنقول بالمئة. $1,500 للتقديم في الدفعة الأولى، وإذا تأخرت على الدفعة الأولى ستكون الدفعة الثانية ومقدارها $2,000. تملي اللي بيخش في الدفعة الأولى بيكون حظه أحسن. السيد تشارلز كوك بيقول إن أفريقيا هي أكبر المتضررين في العامين السابقين والعام الحالي. The biggest victim is Africa, as he said, and I agree with that. We have the stats for that. We can prove that, or it is already proven. نسأل السيد تشارلز كوك إذا كان في دفع آجل. So all the payments are front paid. All the fees are paid up front.
That is correct. That is correct, because we can't be chasing people a year later after they get their green card around the country. And unfortunately, and not that anybody here would do that, but some people don't pay. I've done this long enough to know that, and we've kept the price down. This is actually less than we charged in previous years. And we think it's a fair price for the very good chance that this gets you where we need you to get. Now, the thing to understand, go ahead and say that.
السيد تشارلز كوك بيقول إن الدفع بيكون مقدم، هو ليس عنده وقت أو استطاع أن يحاول أن يلاحق من لا يريد الدفع. ليس معنى ذلك أن هناك من لا يدفع في أمريكا طالما وقعت عقد بتدفعه، ولكن هو ليس عنده وقت ليضيعه في ذلك. يتمنى أن يوفر هذا الوقت ليستخدمه مع ضحايا آخرين من ضحايا الخارجية الأمريكية واللتر الأمريكي كي يجلبهم لأمريكا. Is there gonna be... No, you want to say something first. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, go ahead. You ask me the question.
Okay. The question is, I've been there with you guys when you did, let's not mention a lawsuit, so everybody else jump on it. Let's say X, the litigation X or lawsuit X. There's X 2.0, 3.0, and so on. Are you intended to do this to this lawsuit?
I didn't quite understand your last question there.
Are you going to do this if it goes well? With let's say this is litigation Sahir versus whoever. Is it gonna be version 2, version 3?
No, I know you. It's a great question. This is the one time that we will be adding plaintiffs. Period. We're not going to come back and add 10,000 plaintiffs in July or in August. This is it, because we've learned the lesson. We know the lesson. We know what they're doing. We know we're probably going to get the same judge, honestly. He's going to know what they're doing. He's not going to be happy that he's...
Well, remember, you told him that.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's
You told him that in September when he said, if they don't do this, we'll be here again.
Yeah, and I said, we'll see you next year, Judge. And he just laughed. And
he laughed, yeah. السيد تشارلز كوك يبلغ حضراتكم الدفع مقدما زي ما قلنا، وهناك أيضا لن يكون نسخة أخرى من القضية. لن يكون هناك قضية 1 قضية 2، هي مرة واحدة وقضية واحدة. الذي لم يشارك في القضية لن يشارك بعد ذلك، ولن يتم ضم بعد أول دفعة وثاني دفعة لن يتم ضم أي مشتركين آخرين. لو سمحتم حضراتكم نعمل نشر، لأنه واضح إن في ناس ما عرفتش إن إحنا طلعنا هوا. Sir, so this is the fees paid up front. It's not going to be version 1, version 2. What else should we tell the people? You're about to say something.
Well, there's several things. One, this is not a guarantee that you will get the DV2022 visa regardless of your number. Some people have very high numbers. In past years, everybody that had a number was eligible to apply. We know that about 119,000 people were selected in this year's lottery between principals and derivatives. And there's only 55,000 visas. If we can get them all issued. So there's no guarantee you will get a visa, but what this lawsuit does do, it betters the chance that you're going to get a visa, because we're trying to get every visa issued. And if we can get an order issuing every visa, or a lot more than they would issue if we didn't sue, then that benefits everybody in the line.
Okay. ليس كل من يدخل القضية يضمن تأشيرة، بل القضايا تسعى لإيجاد انترفيو لحضراتكم، مقابلات لحضراتكم. بعض الناس قد تتصور أنه رقمه 80,000 70,000 وبدخول القضية سيأخذ دور غيره. لا، لن يحدث. القضية تحاول أن تجد انترفيوز ومقابلات لكم جميعا، ولكن القضية لا تضمن لك التأشيرة. This is something else. They're asking, so is the lawsuit going to guarantee a visa?
No, I mean, that's what I said earlier. I mean, no, of course not, because we're not the president. I can't guarantee a visa. What we are doing is trying to fight for the best chance for everybody. But I will tell you this. In last year's lawsuit, The only people who have a chance to get a visa now were plaintiffs. If you weren't a plaintiff, you got no chance to get a visa from 2021, and we believe that may happen again.
في قضايا مستر تشارلز كوك في العامين السابقين من حق لهم الحصول على تأشيرات هو المدعين في قضايا مستر تشارلز كوك وفريقه، إذا كان في الماضي من جاف وإيرن و Greg Siskin and everybody. وهذا يعدكم بأنه سيعمل جاهدا لتحصلوا على المقابلات. Is this phone number the right one?
That's my office number. That's my personal number at my office. Don't call that today because I'm not there.
Okay, so is there another number you put on the chat for me?
If you want to talk to somebody, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look up. I do have Arabic speakers in my office.
I know,
and I can't seem to leave a comment myself on here.
Chat.
But,
you can
no,
put them
in StreamYard I can. Outside of StreamYard I probably could, but I'm in StreamYard.
This is StreamYard.
Yes, but outside of StreamYard, inside StreamYard I can't leave a comment. I can only go to Facebook and leave a comment.
Yeah. You might be able to pass it on private.
Yeah, only you can do banners. I can't do banners.
Yeah. Can you pass it on the private chat?
Let me put it in here because I need to get the number. I do this number right here. Okay. Okay, and you can always ask for Waleed. Waleed is one of our lawyers. He's terrific. He's Palestinian. His family's from Palestine, but that's who you get. That's our general number, and that's answered all the time. And you can ask for Waleed.
حضراتكم تقدروا تتصلوا بالرقم ده إذا كان في مكالمات تريدوا إجراءها، والمكالمات هتكون باللغة العربية مع المحامي السيد وليد، وهو عربي يتقن اللغة العربية من أصول فلسطينية. اتصلوا بالرقم أي وقت سيرد عليكم طاقم السيد تشارلز كوك بالمكتب. Mr. Charles Cook, one of the questions, do you want us to take questions from the...
Yeah, I love, as you know,
I know.
My own YouTube page, I love questions.
Yeah.
It's just that I can't read Arabic.
I hope here that this is, we always...
Hussein, Florida! One of my favorite people.
Here you go.
One of the folks that benefited from our litigation a couple of years ago. The Build Back Better provisions are dead. They're dead. They're not going to pass.
I don't see how they're gonna try to throw the filibuster away and try to change the way to vote.
No, our only hope is actually attaching the visa recapture provisions to like the defense appropriations bill.
Like
something
Ming?
That has to pass. Yeah.
Like Grace Ming?
Yeah. Well, it's like Grace Ming's bill, although I don't really like her bill. I'll give you a great example. I got a call today from a congressman in Massachusetts who's very involved in the Afghan stuff, and he is introducing a provision to recapture all the Afghani DV visas. And he asked me to write the language, so I sent him the language for that.
Okay. معانا أخونا حسين فلوريدا. Hussein, if you have time, you can come with us. I know you're always busy.
No, I'm good for the day. As much as you want to talk, we're going to answer questions.
Great. Hussein, if you want to come on the screen, you can. Just let me know. You can pass it to me on Facebook or Twitter. الأستاذ حسين فلوريدا كلنا عارفينه غني عن التعريف، بيسأل هل ماتت الBBB والبيلد باك بيتر بيل اللي كانت موجودة، وهل سننتظر أخبار عنها؟ Is it still hope for Democrat to do something right? هل هيعملوا شيء صحيح؟ Yes, sir. or we kiss it goodbye. هو قال انه ما عندوش امل في الBBB، لكن هو عنده امل في مشروع اخر سيتقدم به احد الاشخاص، يتقدم بمشروع لكابول واللاجئين الافغان، سيضم اليه موضوع الهجرة العشوائية و2020 و2021، فهو عنده أمل في ذلك. So what about Grace Meng amendment? Do you think this might work? What do you think?
Well, there is a 20% chance that a bill like Grace Meng's, not necessarily Grace Meng's, but a bill like that could get attached to a bill that has to pass. That's usually the defense bill.
حتى مشروع مينج، هو شايف ان مشروع مينج او تعديل مينج يكاد يكون المشروع فرصته 20% فقط. ده رأيه الشخصي ولا احترمه طبعا جدا. So that's the hope, as we know, that's the hope for 2022, for 2021 and 2020, and all the way down to 2017.
Well,
but,
and this is go ahead. But this is why we have to fight now.
ولذلك
we don't want to be in the situation for DV2022.
لذلك يقترح كل المحامين وخاصة تشارلز كوك يقترح أن نبدأ في الليتيجيشن من الآن، لا تنتظر حتى يصبح حالك كحال 2020 و2021 اللي ليهم كل الاحترام ولا زال يقاتل لأجلهم. وذلك يأخذنا إلى سؤال آخر. That gonna take us to this question. Here you go.
What about DV2020? Anybody who watches my news on my YouTube knows there's no news. And there won't be any news until after April.
ليس هناك أخبار في 2020 حتى أول إبريل. So should they forget about 2020?
No. 2020, there's still 9,000 they're going to issue. It's not going to happen before April. There's nothing till April. Nothing.
2020 ليس هناك أي شيء سيحدث قبل إبريل من هذا العام. I thought they spent $500,000, but they turn around and say they will appeal. Are you appealing and spending $500,000?
Well, we appealed the judge's decision limiting the number of visas, only because the government appealed. But the government has asked for more time to decide whether they will stop the appeal, and the court gave it to them until February. They may still drop the appeal, which they should.
السيد تشارلز كوك نتكلم أنا وهو عن الأبيل والطعن المقدم، ومنين بيقولوا إن في أبيل، منين بيقولوا عايزين يطعنوا، في نفس الوقت بيصرفوا $500,000 بيصرفوه من الناحية الثانية. قال هم عايزين لسه ياخدوا فرصة until the 18th of February, I guess, right?
Yes, that's correct.
لحد ما يقرروا هل هيوقفوا الطعن أم لا. السيد تشارلز كوك طعن أيضا في عدد التأشيرات الممنوحة في قضية جو، والرقم he did not like the number. He got his reasons. عنده أسبابه لذلك. So we might see an increase in the in Go plaintiffs who reserved visa for them.
We are fighting for an increased number for the Go plaintiffs. That is correct.
Is that goes only for Go or for other litigations regarding?
That's the cross appeal. That's the appeal that we're taking. So we'll see.
هذا هو الكروس أبيل، هو الأبيل المضاد، الطعن ضد الطعن. فأنت طعنت بذلك ونحن سنطعن بأننا نريد فيزا عدد آخر من التأشيرات. So that's 2021 that will take us to 2022. 2020, and that will take us to 2021, which we said. Do you know Brandon goes here? Not yet. Do you ever?
Brandon Go did not get a visa yet. No.
That's a
He's
heartbreaker.
from Indonesia. And
he's originally he got a Yemeni father or something, I guess.
Yeah, but he was going to Indonesia, and that's where he was born. And there was a problem. The consulate basically just closed. It was horrible. But Brandon, among many others, that we still have many that we intend to get. Many of our clients did get visas in September, but many did not, and that's why and that's the benefit of being a plaintiff, is we are still fighting for those people, even long after the year is over. We're still fighting for them.
كنت أسأله عن قضية جو، والمدعي الأساسي في قضية جو هو براندن جو من أصول عربية ولكنه من إندونيسيا، وكانت المشكلة أن القنصلية مغلقة وقتها. That should take us to the topic that all over the media that say litigation is not necessary, why we do litigations now. What did the litigations 2020 and 21 do so I go and have another litigation for 2022? This is what I'm facing day and night. This is why I sometimes can't sleep. I face people like this, threw me with rocks, with words, including just trying to insult my father and mother and everything, just because I'm telling people the truth. In America, if you want to take something is done wrong to you, the only way to get it is to go to the court. Some people say, no, it's not true. Enough we put a hashtag on the thing and it will work.
So the good news is those people, there's ignorant people everywhere. But what did the first two lawsuits accomplish? The fact that 20,000 people were issued DV visas. They wouldn't have issued a single one. Not a single DV would have been issued in 2020 or after April or in 2021. I can promise you, none would have been issued. So that's really important to understand. And again, it was mostly the plaintiffs who benefited from that litigation. Here's the beauty about this, though, Sahir. You don't have to sue. Don't. But when somebody is given a DV visa and you're not, and your number's lower than theirs, don't complain to me.
I hope I can remember this at the end of my translation right now on this question. السيد تشارلز كوك كنت أقول له سيقولون كما يقولون في الميديا ويهاجموننا إذا كنت أنا أو بريت سايمون أو حسين فلوريدا أو كمال أو الآخرون من يتحدثون عن أي قضية يهاجمون. فقال لنرى بأعيننا ماذا حدث في 2020. لم يكن لأحد في 2020 أن يأخذ تأشيرة بعد إبريل 2020 إلا بالقضايا، ولم يكن لأحد في 2021 بالمرة ولا تأشيرة واحدة 2021. Remember, we called them the glue sniffers, right?
Don't come crying to me.
Yeah. And السيد تشارلز كوك دعا السنة اللي فاتت الماضية، السنة الماضية دعا الكل لإعمال العقل. فكر قبل ما تنتقل أو تلتحق بقضية، وبالنهاية ليس عليك الالتحاق بقضية، عليك التفكير والتريث واتخاذ قرار. لا أحد يجبرك على الدخول بقضية. فإن كنت ترى أنه لا داعي للقضية الآن، بمنتهى البساطة لا تدخل قضية. المشكلة أن هناك من يحاول دائما، جهلة يحاولون تجهيل هذا المسار. Let's take another question.
Well, I will also tell you this. I still get direct messages almost every day from winners of DV 2020 and 2021 asking if they can join the lawsuit. That's the power of the lawsuit.
Actually, in the last interview, before this interview, there's people say, "Can I join any lawsuit about 2020? Can I join a lawsuit about 2021?"
Happens all
The
the
answer
time.
is too late.
No, too late.
Too late. السيد تشارلز كوك بيقول لحضراتكم ما زال حتى الآن يصل رسائل: هل يمكنني الدخول في قضية 2020؟ هل يمكنني الدخول أنا 2021؟ هل يمكنني الآن الدخول في قضية؟ وده اللي حضراتكم بتشوفوه كل يوم. فلا تكن مثل هؤلاء الذين فاتهم قطار القضايا واليوم لا يضمنوا أي شيء، ولكن اعمل عقلك. إذا كنت تقدر ومقتنع فالأمر لك، إذا كنت غير مقتنع فالأمر لك أيضا. Yes, sir. You want to say something?
No, I'm good. I'm good. So I see a great question here about the KCC. You want to put that up?
Go ahead. If you tell me
I can't put it up. Only you can put them up.
I know. Are you talking about this?
Yeah, but there's another one from Harir, H-R-I-R, Taha. But that's fine. We can talk about that. It's at 536. 536.
Okay. 536. You can answer it. I'll put it on.
All right. So the question was, does the KCC check the files by the number of the case or the DS submission date? And the answer is both. Obviously, the cases are supposed to be interviewed in order. But the KCC says we can't do that if you haven't submitted your DS. Now, if the KCC got DSs from 10 people, numbers 1 through 10, but they didn't come in order, sometimes the KCC takes them out of order. That's illegal, actually, and that will be part of our lawsuit. And we learned last year that a lot of people with high numbers got their visas when people with lower numbers didn't, because they had done their documents and the DS 260 right away. So please do that and then leave the rest up to us in the lawsuit.
الناس تسأل إذا كانت الحالات تدرس برقم بإرسال الدي اس أم برقم الحالات. هو بالاثنين معا، وقد قال ذلك قبل ذلك. لا تشغل نفسك بذلك، اشغل نفسك فقط بتجهيز نفسك وإرسال الدي اس الصحيح، تحضير مستنداتك الصحيحة، ودع الباقي للمحامي إذا كنت ستدخل قضية. We have one in English here.
Yes, I just saw that. What materials or texts are based on your case, which are free of charge? I can any moment reject this grant. I literally have no idea what that means.
Me neither. I'm sorry.
أستاذ
إيهاب عبد المجيد، لو تكتب لي بالعربي وأنا أترجمه، أنا عنيا لحضرتك. What materials?
That looks like a Google Translate right there.
Yeah, but that's the problem sometimes. Hello, why open a case now? Good.
That's a great question. Great question. First, because the judge asked us why we didn't sue sooner last year. Two, if we don't force them to begin issuing visas now, you could run into a situation where the judge says, you didn't sue soon enough, so I'm not going to let you recover the 14,000 visas they didn't issue in the first quarter of the year. So pressure on the government is very important, and litigation brings that pressure. Why? Now, the person also, I'll let you answer that part up to that point.
أولا السيد تشارلز كوك أجاب على سؤالك. لا يريد لكم أن تقعوا فيما وقع في المدعين أو غير المدعين العام السابق. فقد قال القاضي لهم: لماذا لم تأتوا مبكرين عن ذلك؟ ولكن في الحقيقة أتوا مبكرين العام السابق، وألغيت بعض القضايا فأعادوها. فهم يروا الآن الضغط على الحكومة الآن خير من أن يستمروا حتى آخر العام ويعودوا لفقط يحظوا ببعض التأشيرات والحجز إلى آخره. هم يريدون الحصول على منفعة لحضراتكم الآن. Yes, sir.
All right. The other question is great here is, what are the benefits of the case if it does not guarantee a visa? We kind of answered that already, but it's really clear that it's this, that if you're a plaintiff and we win and the judge says, I'm not going to order all the visas issued just for plaintiffs, and it's quite clear the judge is focused only on plaintiffs, which is the way it should be, then you're going to get a visa when somebody else is not if we win this case. But there's no guarantee because it's America, and in courts in America, there are no guarantees on outcome ever. So here can vouch for that. Let's stop there.
الإجابة الأخرى على الأخ اللي سيده جوا سيده اللي بيسأل ليه وإيه اللي يضمن لي، فقال هنا في أمريكا مفيش حاجة اسمها تضمن تأشيرة ولا تضمن إنك تكسب قضية. ساهر يقدر يقول لكم هذا الكلام بالخبرة، ولكن بالفعل لما القاضي يصدر قرار فينتفع به المدعين في القرار حتى وإن نص الحكم على غير ذلك، فمن المنطقي جدا جدا أن ينتفع المدعين مباشرة من الحكم في نفس القضية التي رفعوها. Let's see this.
Well, I want to answer her last question where she talked about why don't you do it for free? Why do people pay up front? Because the reality of the situation is the people that will benefit from this if we win are our plaintiffs. And we can't be chasing plaintiffs around America for the next 3 years looking for payment on a case that we've already done. Unfortunately, people don't pay. I've done this for 32 years and I've learned that lesson. So that's not the way we do it.
الجزء الأخير من السؤال، لماذا لا تنتظر حتى يدفعوا بعد الوصول إلى أمريكا؟ بمنتهى البساطة هو خبرته 32 عاما في هذا المجال، ولا يريد أن يحاول تحصيل أمواله بعد ذلك والسعي وراء من لم يحصل الأموال. هو بمنتهى البساطة يتعامل بأسلوب واحد فقط.
We're also not looking to bring in 100,000 plaintiffs. That's not our purpose here. We're here to represent those who want to better their odds.
That was going to be my next question. How much? Oh, sorry. How many plaintiffs are you looking for? Like we just heard that X lawsuit going to be only 300 people.
No, we're not going to artificially limit this or put a minimum on it. We're going to file this lawsuit with whoever signs up for us basically by the end of the month. So we're going to move forward. We're not interested in becoming billionaires on people's backs by having tens of thousands of plaintiffs. What we want to do is get the Department of State to do their job. It is unjust, it is unfair, and it is not the way things should work in our system to have us file lawsuits for the department to do their job. I want this to be the last time that we have to do this.
السيد تشارلز كوك ردا على سؤال كم رقم المدعين الذي تنوي الوصول إليه، قال إنه لا حدود للرقم ولكنه لا يريد الدخول ب10,000 مدعي، بل إنه سيفتح الباب للقيد فقط لنهاية هذا الشهر. النهاردة 14. So the deadline going to be when?
I think it's, let's see, what's today? Today's the 14th, probably the 28th.
نهاية يوم 28.
We might take people through like the 4th, but the goal is to be moving forward and file on the 4th.
أي أنهم سيفتحون القيد فقط إلى نهاية هذا الشهر وربما للرابع من شهر نوفمبر. بعدها سيتم إغلاق القيد for good. هيبقى خلاص أغلق ولن يتم إضافة أحد بعد 3 أسابيع من الآن، 3 أسابيع. فكان يعني حتما علي أن أنبه حضراتكم مفيش حدود، مش هيبقى بس منتظر 300 فرد، 300 مدعي.
see. Somebody had a good question here at 5:37. Ebram Hanna says my number is 8,000. Abram Hanna, do I have hope? Yeah, Hanna, Hanna.
Yeah.
And they brought the documents and they sent them to me for their cancel decision. It sounds like he basically got his documents in, and they were going to set him for an interview, and the interview got canceled. Well, obviously COVID is still an issue, but this is why we have to sue, to ensure somebody that's got a number that should have already been interviewed because it's been current for 2 months, should have been interviewed already, and is not.
Okay. Let me answer. Let me add to you to this one, because this is Egypt, where I'm from. I'm from Cairo, Egypt, actually. So good evening. I'm from Egypt. That means he's from one of the laziest embassies ever. Just to let you know, they interviewed 10 cases. 4 was refused, 1 on AP, and 5 were accepted so far.
Which, by the way, is normal. Sahih, that's normal numbers.
Yeah,
and that's why they notified double the numbers, because that's what happens.
Yeah, but so far for 3 months and 2 weeks, they interviewed only 10 cases in Cairo.
Yeah, that's unreal. That's completely outrageous.
And the lies goes about that says that they have 6 consul officers that check on people there, which is not true. Otherwise, tell me, please, how did 6 people met only 10 cases so far? الرد للأستاذ، لذلك بندعم القضايا اللي زي قضية حضرتك. رقمك بيبقى موجود في النشرة وكل حاجة، ويتم دفعك للخلف ومع الأيام، وقد يأتي يوم 30 سبتمبر ولم تكون قبل. عايز أقول لحضرتك السنة اللي فاتت last year we said way too many people the same way in Cairo, Egypt. I hope I can bring this to your attention, sir. Here, I have a static here that tell people how many was in Egypt, which is very few last year, like 300 people.
Oh, it's outrageous. There should have been thousands.
Yeah. So here, if you allow me to share it on the screen so you can see it.
Go right ahead.
So this is my group on Telegram, 2020, and I have 600 people from 2020 and 2021, but the rest are 2022. They all are winners. And here, this is Morocco for the first one, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia. This is 2021. Only 432 visas in Cairo, Egypt. In 2021.
It's outrageous. It's completely outrageous.
It's miserable. So as we know, that it stops like between 1,000 to 1,100 people from Egypt last year. And I don't think their numbers were high as well.
No, they were not.
إذن حضرتك يا أستاذ حنا لا تنتظر حتى يفوتك القطار، حاول تتصرف بأي طريقة. حرير طه. Yes, BB. Okay. Somebody's talking to somebody. متى سيتم البدء في القضية؟ كم الثمن؟ طريقة الأداء؟ هل الأداء مسبقا؟ نحن he's asking what you just said. How much? When? Which way? Which way? The link that you have given me is.
Put that link up, and that'll solve that problem.
الأستاذ كرومي حافظ، متى سيتم البدء في القضية؟ في شهر 2. كم الثمن؟ $1,500. وإن لم تلتحق بأول فرصة 1,500. هناك فرصة أخرى $2,000. طريقة الأداء upfront ستدفعهم مباشرة الدفع مسبقا، وليس هناك الدفع بعد الوصول، حيث أن ليست طريقة تشارلز كوك الدفع بعد الوصول. يمكن أن تكون طريقة شخص آخر. This is not his way. He doesn't work this way. Maybe somebody else work with pay after you arrive to the States, but that's not Charles Cook. That's not the way he worked, the way I understand, the way that I see it. Here, hello. What is the legal position towards the American embassy in Cairo?
Well, I do have a solution, by the way, because I did it last year. We actually sued Cairo on behalf of fiancés and spouses, and we won. They interviewed every one of those people and issued every one of those visas. So visas,
say that again, please.
They approved every single visa and issued every single one of them. Yes.
الأستاذ Albert Whisker. Albert Whisker is another Christian Egyptian, Coptic Egyptian, so I know him, and he's from Cairo, Egypt. الأستاذ ألبرت ويسكر بيسأل سؤال: ايه اللي نقدر نعمله ضد سفارة القاهرة والتعنت الواضح في سفارة القاهرة؟ الرد هو أنه سبق للسيد تشارلز كوك مقاضاة سفارة القاهرة العام السابق، وربح القضية في قضية K1 right؟ في قضية الخطوبة وربحها، وأخذ تأشيرة وأخذ مقابلة لكل المتقدمين في قضية الخطوبة ضد السفارة المصرية. He's asking 2020. حمادة هندي رجع الشريط بقى. Just reverse back, you'll find it. حبيبي. What about the people who are not current and plaintiffs?
Well, not a current plaintiff, then you're taking your chances with everybody else. I mean, plaintiffs, we believe, are going to benefit from this litigation.
Maybe in another phrase, we should say, what about people who have bigger or huge case numbers, like 70,000, like 57.
Well, they like every other situation. Last year we had high numbers, and some got it because the numbers became current. And once the numbers become current, it's a free for all.
I remember in Jordan high numbers, and he's now in Texas. I really remember. His name is Fadi. He's my friend. He's in Texas, and that's where all my exes, right? Okay. الأستاذ محمد عصام. I'm sorry. I just love the joke. الأستاذ محمد عصام: العام الماضي كان هناك كثير من الأرقام العالية وقابلت مع السيد تشارلز كوك، ومنهم أخي فادي وهو المقيم الآن بتكساس من الأردن. He's thanking you for the answer here. 2021, good luck. That's not good luck here.
No, you didn't read. Put that back up. Look what he said at the end.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see. Muhammad Usama. Yeah. He said, I'm 2021. Good luck playing. I believe that we're going to win. It's going to take time. Thanks, Mr. Charles Kurtz Morrison, for helping us. I advise all 2022 to join the case. محمد أسامة بيدعو حضراتكم كلكم لتجربته، وبيشكر السيد تشارلز كوك والسيد كيرتس موريسون والآخرون، وبينصح الناس بدخول قضايا 2022. شكرا أستاذ محمد أسامة. دلوقتي هيقول لك ساهر بعت له 10 جنيه. Now they're going to say Sahir is sending him some money for this.
Yeah, no,
I didn't even see him.
All right, let's take one more question here, and then I've got to run.
Yeah, I know. Hi guys, how are you? First of all, thank you much for everything that you're doing. Do you think that 2020 gonna suffer from the same issue like the last year? That's why we have the litigation.
That's why we're suing. It's going to happen. It's already happened. It's actually it's worse than last year. So they issued fewer visas in the first quarter this year than they did last year. It's crazy. Absolutely bananas.
No, I think last year we stayed until March with no visas, right?
No, there was some issued. There was some issued. But it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a question in English because most of the Arabic questions I answered already.
Yeah, I think English. We'll take one more English one and then we'll be done.
Yeah. Why don't you pick one?
Well, let's look at the very last one. Iyas Ahmed, the very last question there, at least at 5:59. Most of the consulates in Africa could be open. They could be open. They could be working full time. The officers are all there. It's not like they're home, but they're not. So until we get a federal judge to tell them to get back to work, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
So that will take me to tell you about. I know you know, but let me put some light on this one. The people in Sudan are suffering from last year.
It's horrible.
Last year, as much as I know, fiscal year should be 365 days. The last year was 2 days in Sudan. They met people in 2 days, nine cases, and that's about it. For some reason, they get away with that. That's miserable. The second thing is now the embassy is open, but again, it's just like on autopilot. Lights are on.
They're not doing DVs. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's really miserable. Is there a way to do a lawsuit for Sudan, Khartoum?
Yeah, we can. If we have plaintiffs, we can sue any particular lawsuit on any particular case. So it's just a question of hiring us to do it. But that's why we're doing a group lawsuit now, because we want to get the message out that people will not tolerate this any longer. So here, thank you for letting me come on. Hopefully we can do this again in a couple of weeks before we file to give people an update and to really let them know we're here to fight for them. Yeah. I'm the former president of the Immigration Lawyers Association. I've been doing this a very long time. Yeah. And I do this because I am the child of immigrants. I am the child of immigrants. My family was.
Which is all Americans are.
All of us are. And so I think everybody should be given that shot if they want to come here. And that's why I fight.
Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you very, very much, sir. الأستاذ تشارلز كوك بيشكر حضراتكم. بالنسبة لسفارة الخرطوم بيقول هو عنده، أنا شرحت له سفارة الخرطوم وهو يعلم، قلت له العام السابق 365 يوم، يومين فقط لسفارة الخرطوم. هذا يحدث هذا العام، السفارة مفتوحة ولا أحد بالداخل. قال سألته سؤال هل ينفع أنك تعمل قضية لسفارة الخرطوم؟ قال لو في عدد المدعين المطلوب سيقاضيهم. شكرنا على ذلك وقد يعيد اللقاء بعد أسبوع أو 2. Thank you very much for being here with us, sir. Thank you,
Sahar. Have a wonderful weekend.
I'm so happy. Thank you very, very much, and have a good one, sir. Have a good vacation too.
I will.
Thank you, sir. سيداتي وسادتي، كان هذا لقاؤنا مع رئيس اتحاد رئيس اتحاد محامي الهجرة في أمريكا تشارلز كوك، وقال لكم كل ما أردتم السؤال عنه. The lawsuit forces the KSS to process the case. Well, you're using معود. You're using language that they don't use in America here, like the word force. ما بيستعملوش الكلمة force هنا، واسمها KCC مش KSS. أنا ما لن أعلق على أيوة أنت غلطان، لا، لكن لما بنسأل الناس في كلمات زي فورس، كلمة بيستبعدوها هنا لأنها فيها شوية عنف وهم بيبتعدوا عن الكلام ده. ولما كتبت KSS كنت أكيد تقصدي KCC. أنا متشكر لحضراتكم جميعا. حاضر. طيب اجمع السودانيين ونقاضي سفاره السودان. ايه عطار ده؟ هو بيقول لك ساهر بياخد عموله من الناس دي. انت شايف الناس دي بيقول لك ساهر بياخد عموله من الناس دي، ولسه هجيب لكم موريسون وهنجيب غيره كمان. what about embassy in بغداد؟ نفس الشيء، نفس الرد، ينسحب على سفارة السودان. شكرا على هذا السؤال، تحت أمرك يا كرومي. شكرا لمدام داليا، شكرا لحضراتكم جدا. أنا فعلا مش يعني الكرسي اللي أنا قاعد عليه اشتكى. Does the case include the American embassy in Cairo؟ أكيد. ماذا تتوقع لو ما رفعناش قواضي 2020؟ انت متوقع ايه يا محمد يا ناجي يا جدو؟ انت متوقع ايه؟ حضراتكم زي ما شايفين كده الدنيا تلج، وانا كل الجليد اللي بره ده مضطر اطلع اشيله. عندي ماكينتين، ماكينه في الشاد اللي انتوا شايفينه ده، ماكينه كسح، وعندي ماكينه ثانيه نطير فيها الجليد بره. فأنا تعبت جدا، معلش. الساعة 6 هنزل لحضراتكم الفيديو القصير اليومي اللي يعرض لحضراتكم أعداد المقبولة. آسف إن أنا ما قدرتش أخد كل الأسئلة، إنما حاولنا ناخد الأسئلة المهمة. إيه القضية؟ مبنية على إيه؟ الدفع إزاي وفين؟ الدفع هيكون على اللينك اهو، لينك قضية تشارلز كوك. اللينك اهو، اللي عايز يخش لينك القضية، وهنحط لينك القضية على الصفحة الرئيسية. هنضمها إلى قضية جيسي بلاس كمان. أنا تعبت جدا، وأنا الحمد لله ضميري مستريح وقلبي عند ربي. لسه كمان لو حد ظهر تاني أرجو من الإخوة المحامين العرب أنهم ينضموا لهذا الركب. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. أرجو أن ما حدش يكون زعلان أن أنا ما قلتش سؤاله. حاولنا نجيب كل الأسئلة قدر الإمكان. أرجو أن ما حدش يقول أنت بتدفع الناس للقضايا، لأن ده عبارة عن جهل مطبق. ده هنا في غلطين. لما بتقول أنت بتدفع الناس للقضايا، أولا أنت بتسفه الناس. بقول لحضرتك أنت بتسفه الناس، وشرط الهجرة الأمريكية أن يكون عنده 18 سنة عشان يقدر ياخد قرار. تاني حاجة بتقول أنت هتخلي الخارجية تتعنت علينا. تتعنت عليك إيه؟ تعنتت عليك بطنك. إحنا النهاردة 300 تأشيرة ورابع شهر. أعوذ بالله من الناس اللي مخها ضيق. زي ما قلت لتشارلز كوك وقلت لجيسي بلاس، طالبي الشهرة أول ما يلقوا الشجر المثمر بالحصى علشان الناس تروح تتفرج عليها. قلنا اللي عندنا أرضينا ربنا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وبالإخوة اللي موجودين معنا في أسئلة جاهزة وموجودة لسيادتك. يعني أكثر الأسئلة العويصة بالنسبة لنا أسئلة الIOM واللجوء من ناحية اللاجئين غير كده.
2020 selectees that are tuning in, I assume that they're DV2020 selectees.
أمام كلمة قوس ونشيل أسماء الأطفال اللي تحت. لو تزوج ومعك أطفال هتشيل كلمة سنجل خالص، تلغيها كلمة سنجل وكلمة مارد زي ما حضراتكم شايفين. وكمان في مكان للجزارة.